Okay, and hopefully we should now be live. Hopefully.
Yeah, nice to see Mr. White in the chat room.
Oh, that sounds all right. There's no echo or anything, so we'll take that. Hello, chat room.
Hello, chat room. Chat room, if you could do your usual. And
just we've got an unusual setup. Look, this is exciting times. There's two people in the same studio.
How scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this part of our drive to prove that we're not AI?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with it. Yeah, let's do that.
There were at least 50 people that saw us all in the same room together a couple of weeks ago.
True enough. Yeah.
It can be verified.
I got some feedback recently at work through our feedback tool, telling me to stop creating my content using AI. So I guarantee you it's not AI.
Oh, well, really?
An AI would say that, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The robots are taking over.
That's when I start glitching. That's the problem.
Yeah. Gotta love a bit of a glitch. Right. Okay.
Speaking of which, YouTube just had a bit of a moment there, but I think it's all right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's switch to, there we are. Everybody can see Nev for a moment while I just, which is a real treat for everyone, obviously.
No, not really.
One of these is, there should be an auto gain thingy on here somewhere. Channel matrix, no, that's all right. Channel mixer.
Oh, John Jester is live from McDonald's next to Schiphol. Airport.
Nice.
Oh, that's a treat.
I have been there many times in the past.
I had a Wendy's last night. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know, the last time I had a Wendy's would have been
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
2017.
absolutely. Yeah, 2017. That would have been the last time I had a Wendy's.
It looked a bit like roadkill, but it was very tasty.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Just hope my doctor's not listening, otherwise he'll be back on the statins.
Right. Gotta love a statin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what that should do, Carlos, is help to keep the audio fairly stable without you having to touch too much stuff on the desk.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a little bit of...
Well, so far so good. The chat room has said that the audio's okay. So
Good. We like only okay.
Well, no, good. I think with the feedback that I've seen.
Okay. Jolly good. The only thing I don't think we have up and running on here is... I don't think we have the vMix Social on here.
I was just going to ask you about that, Matt, but I didn't like to interrupt you. I favorited the link that you gave.
Yes, when I'm in a different when Carlos is hosting it, will be different set of addresses essentially.
Okay.
And it looks like for some reason he hasn't got the vMix Social on his machine.
With 2 minutes to go, I wouldn't worry
with
too much.
2 minutes to go is probably a bit risky.
Yeah.
So I think we'll bounce it for now.
Everything's working. So,
yes, indeed. Well,
John Jess put don't touch the thing.
Don't touch the
it.
things. No. Leave the things.
Leave it.
We need to. Oh, you haven't got a clock either. I need to put that right at some point. I'll do that while we're on the fly, while you're reading your intro and stuff.
Clock is a clock there.
No. I mean, as in the actual real time clock.
No, we don't have those.
Well, no, we do. I use it all the time.
And it's time to start the other clock.
There we go. Is that all right? Were we in time?
Just about.
Just. Okay, good. Well, I'll take just. I'll take just. Okay. All right then. So. Okay then. Here we go. Fader's going down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 603 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, Canadian police say that an Air Canada pilot flew passengers for years with a fake pilot's licence. A fire breaks out on a British Airways flight packed with Infocom trade show visitors bound for Las Vegas. Nev will be telling us all about that, as many of his former industry colleagues were on that flight. And Emirates Airlines appoints its first Emirati female captains. In the military segment this week, Armando will be giving us an update on the US-Iran war, along with his thoughts on the B-52 accident at Edwards Air Force Base. And in an additional segment from Armando this week, we'll be playing the interview that he did with Adrian Willis of the British Aerobatic Academy when Armando was last over in the UK for the 600th show. We'll also have some excellent feedback from Derek Grinner Smith regarding the collision between the Cessna 182 and the paraglider in the Swiss Alps that we spoke about a few episodes ago. And of course, we have a Retro Airline Ad of the week to play for you this week. Not one, but two. So joining me, sitting next to me, it's Matt Smith.
Oh, is that what we're saying about that? Hello, yes. Yes, I'm sat in the same studio as Carlos for a change. That's
how
fun,
weird is this?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Now,
when was the last time that other than the 600th, obviously, put that to one side, when was the last time we actually did it in the same room, as it were?
It was many years
ago.
Behave,
the lot of
many years
You
ago.
two need a kitchen table between you.
We do. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you know, we should have done it downstairs just for fun, really.
Oh, Gemma would have loved that.
Yeah, I bet she would not. Yeah.
But no, thanks for joining me in the Peace UK secondary studio.
Yes, indeed. Actually, well, it is PT UK HQ, to be fair.
Oh,
it is HQ, but yes, no, there's a reason behind it. I'm not here next week, basically, so we just wanted to make sure that everything was all 100% before I disappear off to go and work at a trade show for a few days. So.
Yes. And also joining us from across a lovely, glorious, sunny Buckinghamshire countryside is, of course, our connoisseur of all things Seat 1A and BA. It's Neville Bounds.
It is sunny, and we've had a very odd weather day today here, but it's quite nice now. I've returned from the Isle of Wight. Very nice seeing Richard Adams and his wife Sinead last week whilst we were over there. That was great, and the weather was sort of okay-ish. It was had some couple of good days and not so good days as well, but that's the nature of the British weather, I guess, isn't it? But great to be back again this week for more aviation fun.
And good to see you as always, Nev. And you're enjoying the sunshine. We're having a resurgence again of the summertime. I think we're hitting 30 tomorrow, Nev.
I think it is. I think we're going to be up to the 29 degrees tomorrow they're talking about. So that's nice again. So about time we had the summer back. So looking forward to it.
And joining us this week, back again with us, is our resident Airbus training captain, sim training captain. He just flies everything that's got wings. It's, of course, our very own Captain Andy.
Well, one specific airframe that has wings. Hello again. Sorry, it's been a while.
That's good to have you back.
It's very good to be back. I mean, why haven't I been here? We had a week off, didn't we? Then I was at the cricket the following Wednesday. You know I like me cricket. Then last week I was at a meeting with the Civil Aviation Authority.
Ew.
But I'm back this week.
Are we allowed to ask questions about what you were doing with the CAA?
It was a meeting with a lot of other airlines as well.
Okay.
Just to discuss things.
And
I'm back in the Gatwick studio, my second home.
So you're eating like an absolute champion tonight then, Andy?
Yeah, and I'm very glad I'm going to be not coming back here for the next 3 weeks after this, which will be very nice.
Oh, anything fun planned?
Going away to Barcelona next weekend.
Oh, get you.
And then just being home. Oh, then 2 weeks after that, I'm actually going on a proper holiday, the first one in a very long time, which would be nice.
So I'm gonna ask a question here, Andy, because I can't help myself. But when you're not working, do you fly with your own airline?
In fact, both these trips coming up, yes, I am.
Ah, okay.
But being the tight northerner that I am, I'll
course.
go with the cheapest option.
You're right. I'd be disappointed if you didn't, to be honest with you.
So you don't pay for the extra legroom seats over the aisle, or the overwing exits, I should say.
Nah. Well, when I'm traveling with my daughter, I can't anyway. She's not allowed to sit there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
And also joining us this week, he's back, our resident writer of all interesting words. It's, of course, Nick Codling.
Hello, Carlos. Pleased to see that you're back in the land of the living. We were a little bit worried about you last week.
Yes,
I think we all are. I have to say, I don't know how you feel about this all, chaps, but there is a video in our group chat that I think we should save for a Christmas party or something like that to sort of share with the wider group.
I'm saying there was nothing wrong with him. He'd had 15 pints on the flight back, and that was the resulting video afterwards, to be honest.
Indeed.
I tell you, I'd rather have had 15 pints on the way back, but I slept. I slept, and anyone who knows me, this is not like me at all. I slept the entire 3 hours and 5 minute flight back to London Norwich Airport.
London Norwich.
I think it was a dodgy Maltese pint.
It was it.
Or 20 over 7 days. But it's good to see you fitting well again, mate. That's the most important thing.
Today I actually feel back to normal again. It's been quite nice. But I'll tell you what, London Norwich Airport, is an experience.
Now, you say that in a way like, do I need to ask, like, as in a good experience or a bad experience?
It's like going back to the mid-80s.
The 1950s.
Of travel.
Okay. So what, really comfortable, spacious seats?
No, because we flew back into Norwich, you see, so we obviously had to deplane.
Because I took you to Stansted, didn't I? Yeah.
And go into what sort of seemed like someone's bedroom with some podiums, with some border control staff standing behind said podiums.
Right.
And then you walk into a very small room, not much bigger than the room me and you are in now.
Right.
With one single carousel for luggage.
Oh. Right.
And that's it.
It's a small airport, though, isn't it? I mean,
it's not an international hub, Carlos.
No. I tell you, you would not want to get more than one 737 in there at a time with passengers wanting to,
Well, and of course, let's be honest here. The only other sort of stuff other than a bit of TUI stuff that goes in and out of there, of course, is all Ryanair. I mean, and who puts hold luggage in a Ryanair plane? Let's be honest, because nobody can afford that for a start.
Actually, Nev, have you ever flown into Norwich before in your
No,
travels?
I haven't. No. That would be a new experience for me. I've not done that yet.
No, I wonder whether you had or not. No, interesting.
No.
How about you, Andy? Have you flown at Norwich?
I mean, that part of the world is miles out of my reach anyway. So why would I want to fly in there and then have to travel for 20,000 hours to get back to civilization?
Nick, I'm going to guess you've never been to London Norwich Airport before.
I don't think I've even been to Norwich. I think.
You've missed out. Oh, you need a trip to Norwich because there's some excellent ales.
Oh, okay. Yep, you got me there.
They have.
We need to take.
That's about as near as I've got, I think.
Skegness.
Yeah, as they say, it's not quite the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. That's how I feel about Lowestoft. If I'm honest,
we need to take Andy to the Belgian Monk in Norwich.
Oh yes, we do. Yeah. Well, Andy and Nick. Yeah.
Can you charter me a helicopter in or something just to save the travel time?
Save you the 18-hour drive.
Yeah.
Now, Nev, I know you've been this way. Have you spent much time in Norwich at all?
Back in the day, yes, I had customers that lived in that were operating out of Wyndham.
So
went there quite a lot. Once drove back from Norwich in the most unbelievable snowstorm. This is before the road quality was as good as it is now. It was all single carriageway down the A11, I seem to remember. Yeah. And that was a horrific drive back. I shouldn't have gone in the first place, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I believe the roads are tarmacked now, Nev.
And there's electricity for some street lighting too.
Yes,
amazing.
Yes. It goes off at like 9:30 now, but yes, there is some street lighting. Anyway, yes. Well, I love the part of the world in which we live in.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I do. I mean, we've been lucky enough to go and visit Nev a couple of times.
We have, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful around there, right in the heart of the sort of the Buckingham countryside and that kind of thing. It's I spent a lot of time down when I was growing up down near where Nick is. And it's just really Andy that left. Really, I don't know how I feel about a trip to the Middle Earth. Essentially,
Andysville. Yeah.
You mean God's country, like the best part of the country ever?
Is that what it is? Okay, all right then. Can we have a quick straw poll? Anyone? No?
It's incredibly cheap, beautiful, and there's a pub in my back garden. Don't forget that.
No. That is the appealing bit for sure. Absolutely.
I can also testify the fact that in his neighbouring town of Newcastle, there are some excellent pubs.
Oh, I did go to. I went to North Shields once.
Oh, lovely! Not the best spot, but
yes. I went for it was a Bob Marley and the Wailers tribute act.
Of course, that's why you travel all the way to North Shields for that. Yeah,
I drank a bottle of Newcastle brown ale once.
Did you? Excellent.
Yeah.
Should we do some aviation? Should we do that before
Right.
Nev has a coronary? I think.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I think we should. Yes.
Right, let's say hello to the chat room members who join us tonight. Let's start off top of the list as Mazoos is in there first. Well done to you, Mazoos. Owen E is in there as well. Hello to you, Owen. Good to see you in there. Richard Adams is in there. We have got Alan White. Hello to you, Alan, as well in there. Bill, good evening. Cameron Cornish says hi all, ready for another round of Guess the Airline. John Jester's in there as well. Good evening to you. John Falk, good evening to you. Masha, hello Masha, hope you're well. We've got Tanya, the lovely Tanya over in New York. Hello to you as well. Darren
She says
Smith.
Lowestoft's lovely, by the way.
Tanya,
Lowestoft Coast,
you're
yes.
very much mistaken. Darren, I'm not going to mention, but I'll message you later, Tanya, to tell you just what Lowestoft's like. Darren Smith, hello to you over in Oslo. Who else we got? Mark Priestley, hello to you. Good evening, everyone. Nev looks like retirement is good for you, Mark says.
Oh, there we are.
There we go. Grinner is in there as well. Says good evening, everyone. Hello to you, Grinner, as well. And good evening to everyone who's joined us tonight for the live show. Welcome to you, one and all. Right, it's time to do some commercial aviation news. So if all the team are ready.
Oh, yes.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
And the first story this week comes to us from edition.cnn.com. And Air Canada pilot flew passengers for years with fake pilot's license, police have found out. A former Air Canada captain has been charged after police alleged that he flew more than 900 passenger services without holding a license required to land large commercial aircraft. Jeffrey Wall was reportedly a licensed commercial pilot throughout his 27-year career, but investigators claim he never obtained an airline transport pilot license, or ATPL, required when he was promoted to captain back in 2009. Police say he went on to command 767s, 777s, 787s on domestic and international flights until retiring in 2025. The alleged discrepancy was discovered during a routine review of his credentials when Air Canada identified anomalies in his licensing documents and notified the authorities. The subsequent police investigation, named Project Icarus, resulted in Wall's arrest on June the 1st. Air Canada says there's no indication that passengers were placed in immediate danger. The airline points out that its pilots undergo recurrent training every 6 months in an annual flight check with an authorised Air Transport Canada examiner. However, police argue that proving someone can physically operate an aircraft is not the same as holding the professional qualification required to command it. Wall now faces 7 criminal charges, including fraud and offences relating to allegedly forged documents. He's expected to appear in a court in June on the 29th. So, does that mean then I can go and I'm going to just go and get a job with some airline? Just get AI to do me ATPL license?
I mean, to be fair, like Tanya and I think Richard Adams and all that is saying in the chat room there, but I mean, presumably, and I'm sure Andy will back us up on this one, presumably he will have sat quite a number of like recurrence training, sim training, all this kind of thing, and presumably he must have passed that without incident.
This is not as bad as it seems. It is, but it's bad.
Yeah,
but it's not as bad as it seems. This gentleman had a commercial pilot's license. Okay, so to get the commercial pilot's license, it's all the same training. The ATPL is sort of an add-on. When I started flying commercially, I only had a commercial pilot's license. You get an ATPL to allow you to command an aircraft once you've got 1,500 hours, and you have to do a sim ride. And there's the ATPL written exams as well, which you do as part of your CPL training. So he didn't have the additional part required to allow him to command the aircraft. So, and that's just a bit of paper. That's not your actual skills. They will have all been tested on his command course. He's been through several type ratings here, recurrent training every X amount of months. Perfectly safe pilot, did not have the right paperwork. If that was on purpose, who knows? But it's not that bad, really. Now, the real question is, how did the system allow him to carry on through everything without the correct checks on the paperwork?
That's quite the anomaly, isn't it? I mean, that's the issue, isn't it?
I was about to say, I think that the company is at fault here, or the admin system, or whoever operates the admin system for checking pilots' credentials is also at fault here. It's not just a single point of failure, if you see what I mean.
Absolutely, yeah. So he had a commercial license, which, like I said, that's the main thing. He was licensed pilot to operate these big jets. He had the type ratings, just not the necessary extra bit to be the commander.
Wow.
So what way is this going to go? Will he lose his job? I presume, lose his license.
He's retired.
Or...
He's done.
Oh, he's done.
He's retired.
So
yeah.
He's not that bothered then.
No, but the police are, because this is still a felony, a crime that this has occurred. But the question is, was this on purpose on his part, or an error on the airline's part? It's going to be.
That's the question I was about to ask: was this deliberately negligent, or was it merely an oversight? Because clearly, looking at all the different types that he flew, he was quite handy.
Quite a good pilot by the sound of it.
Yeah, he must have been good.
Well, yeah, it had to be good to get through a command. You don't just get given your command as well. You don't just get to a point where they go, well done, mate, there you go, there's your captain stripes, off you go. You've got to prove that you can do it, you're worth it, and you've got the skills to do it. So he's gone through all of that.
Owen in the chat room says, also, only 900 flights in 17 years. What in the unions is going on in Canada?
Yeah, true enough.
That's pretty good. I guess if he's doing long haul, I'll do the quick maths, but depends how many trips they do a month, I guess.
True enough.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT to draw me up a fake pilot's license.
Right.
See what I get.
That's 4.4 flights a month. So 2 trips a month, 3 trips a month.
Oh,
that's pretty standard for a sort of long haul in a proper legacy airline.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Bill in the chat room says there's a reason it's known as Scare Canada.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Oh, dear.
I mean, they've got a fairly good rep, though, haven't they?
Air Canada.
I mean, they're a half decent airline, aren't they? I assume they are.
They do nice desserts.
Right, okay. I mean, something's obviously clearly gone a bit awry with this particular incident, shall we say? But
Master in the chat room says the fact that he's also been charged with fraud makes I think that this was deliberate on his part.
charged with fraud because of falsifying a document? Do we think then is that what you're?
Oh yeah, ChatGPT did, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, it depends on how long ago it was, because it's a relatively new thing. This whole AI stuff, relatively new. I mean, in the last sort of 10 years or so. Certainly available to Mr. Joe Public anyway. But yes, indeed.
Right, next story for you, Matt. Ryanair, and I like this one. This rears its head every now and again.
Okay, all right, let's take a look at this then. It's theguardian.com is the source for this particular story, and the headline is Ryanair investigated overcharging parents to sit with their children. Ryanair is being investigated by the UK's competition regulator over fees charged to adults travelling with children. The airline requires at least one adult travelling with children aged 2 to 11 to reserve a family seat. The children's seats are then allocated free beside or near that adult, but the adult typically pays around £8 per flight. It's about £16 on a return journey. The Competition and Markets Authority is examining whether that compulsory charge is unfair and whether it's made clear enough when fares are first advertised. Consumer law requires unavoidable costs to be included in the headline price rather than added later through drip pricing. The CMA says that Ryanair appears to be the only major airline operating from the UK with this type of mandatory adult reservation fee. Ryanair has called the investigation bogus, arguing that families benefit because only one adult pays while up to 4 children receive allocated seats for free. The regulator has not concluded that any law has been broken. An update is expected within 6 months, and the CMA could ultimately order refunds, require policy changes, or impose a fine of up to 10% of the airline's global turnover, which with Ryanair, let's be honest, is going to be quite a chunky number.
I didn't realise this is so much a big thing, but I just thought when you purchase a seat as an adult, you've got children, you purchase a seat for you, your wife or whatever, and you have many kids. I didn't think the price is ramped up just for the fact you wanted to sit next to your children.
Same on Jet2, same on TUI.
Is it?
Yeah, I had to pay extra to sit next to my daughter.
Even though you book the seats together at the same time, block together?
Well, it's luck of the draw when you check in, essentially.
So you don't you didn't pre-book
so I
seats.
paid extra to pre-book seats so that I know that we're definitely sat next.
Yep, happens every day. Amount of flights that I've been on where the cabin crew said, hang on, we've got to sort this out. The parents are not sat with the kids. Because ultimately, even if you don't pay, they'll have to move people around because you have to be sat with your child for somebody to look after them. So it just causes delays, essentially.
I mean, I paid the extra, I think it was 14 quid, I think it was, to choose my seat. Yeah, 14, I think it was 14 quid, I think it was, to choose our seats flying out and coming back. So 14 quid each way. To pick the overwing exit seats, but I think that was absolutely 100% worth it. You know exactly where you're sitting when you get on board the aircraft, head straight to that seat, sit down, boom, done. I know it's a big money making thing for airlines to be able to charge the extra amount to sit, to choose your seat. But I think a lot of airlines, if I'm right, nearer the time, or I think it's 24 hours or 12 hours before your flight is due to leave, you can go on and possibly choose your seat if it's not already been allocated. I don't know.
At ours, it doesn't. If you don't pay, you don't choose. It'll just auto allocate when you check in.
There's a thing for pay. Just pay the few quid.
I mean, I
sit where you want.
I mean, Ryanair always gets a bad rep, but at the end of the day, the majority of the time, they're even with a lot of their bolt-on bits and pieces, they still are competitive.
Oops, sorry.
Hello. They're still competitively priced, if you see what I mean. Even if you do put a whole bag in and all this kind of.
Oh yeah, our flights are absolutely dirt cheap. I couldn't have wished for cheaper flights, which is why we flew back into London Norwich.
Yeah. Yeah, but although it's worth noting, isn't it, the reason why you ended up flying out of Stansted is because
flight times,
because the flight out of Norwich to Malta
awful time
would have basically cost you more or less a whole day of your holiday, wouldn't it? Essentially, there we are.
Right, and Nev, you have got the next story, and we've also got some audio to play with this as well, Nev, haven't we?
Yes, we'll play the audio at the end of this article, if that's okay. Yeah. Well, my WhatsApp and LinkedIn lit up somewhat this week. This is an incident which is very close to my heart. It's on aviinteractive.com, and it says that fire breaks out on a BA flight packed with Infocom trade show visitors. Now, Infocom is the big US professional audio-visual show that takes place alternately in Las Vegas and Orlando. And this article was written by Guy Campos, who's deputy editor of AV magazine, a chap I also know. He says passengers on a British Airways flight from London Heathrow to Las Vegas have described the frightening moment a device charging a mobile phone caught fire shortly before landing. Flames reportedly appeared around a window seat in row 37 of the Boeing 787-9, which was registered Golf Zulu Bravo Kilo Hotel, and operating as flight number BA271 as it began to prepare for its final descent. A nearby passenger initially tried to tackle the fire, whilst others left their seats and moved into the aisle. Cabin crew had to then repeatedly order passengers to move aside so they could reach the affected row with fire extinguishers. Once the flames had been dealt with, passengers seated nearby were relocated and the area was continuously monitored after crew members reported that the battery appeared to reignite several times. That's not fully being confirmed yet. There's some conflicting reports about that. But anyway, the aircraft was given priority to land at Harry Reid International and was met by emergency vehicles. Some displaced passengers were seated elsewhere in the cabin, including in crew seats, before the aircraft landed safely and taxied normally to the gate. One passenger said that chemical smoke left her eyes stinging and clung to her hair and clothes. Everyone on board was able to disembark safely, although the incident again highlights the danger posed by damaged or faulty rechargeable devices and the importance of keeping aisles clear so that trained crew can respond. An additional report I heard that 7 firefighters boarded the aircraft upon arrival and confirmed that the fire had been extinguished. A couple of things that we're not absolutely sure about with this story, whether the phone was being charged from the in-seat USB port or whether it was an external power bank. We've not had that confirmed one way or the other. But I certainly had a lot of questions from my audiovisual chums incoming to me this week because of this. It's a subject which we cover so often on the show, thermal runaway of lithium ion batteries. Luckily, we've got Captain Andy with us today. What's the situation with your airline and regard to how this sort of situation is handled?
Well, excuse me. The first thing that they would do with it is cover it in water and then get it submerged in water as well. That's the best way to stop any reignition, because of course there's no oxygen supply then if it's deep in water. The problem, especially around not so much devices unless they're damaged, but these power banks. If you think how many people see on a 320 that our fly, it's got 186 seats. Just going on power banks alone, say 75% of the people are carrying one on board. That's a lot of power banks, and there's more than one cell in those power banks depending on the size. Security don't really check what size. Well, in fact, they have no care whatsoever about your power bank. As long as it is a power bank, they don't care how big it is. Some can have up to 10 cells in them depending on the wattage that they carry. And this risk is becoming more and more apparent now. It's a big talking point in my airline. And I think we're either going to get to the point where this causes a serious accident. We've seen accidents like this before in the cargo world where they carry thousands of cells on board and planes full of phones and tablets and all sorts of things that's brought down. The one I remember really well is the UPS incident in Dubai where that aircraft sadly crashed. They need to be banned, personally, in my opinion. We don't know where people are getting these from. As we've talked about before, there are many cheapo versions you can buy on certain Chinese websites that cost next to nothing, and you do not know the quality of the build. I've had devices myself that have warmed up rapidly, even phones and stuff. I thought, oh dear, let's hope that's not going to turn into something. And that's quality, expensive equipment that you've paid for, and you expect to have good quality control. So that this can happen anywhere and any time. Technology is moving on though with how to fight it. There are bags available now that you can put these devices into that have some gel or liquid in them or something like that that can stop it. So the firefighting technology is catching up, but it's not mandated. So therefore, that's a cost to an airline. So are they going to go ahead and do it, or stick with the old-fashioned methods of water, etc.? But I think we are going to see more of these incidents, and we're going to see more problems with them until ICAO probably send down a recommendation, which then will have to go to all of the authorities around the world for them to actually put into law to stop this.
Now, one of the questions that I was being asked a lot this week was, what can be done about it in the event of this happening? Now, one of the things that I do know is that the cabin crew are trained to an extremely high standard to tackle these situations. The flight deck crew aren't going to get involved, hopefully, because they'll be up the front making sure the thing's pointing in the right direction. And when cabin crew or cabin incidents occur, generally speaking, it is down to the cabin crew to deal with it. So they are trained to a very high standard. But we've seen before that these situations where there's a thermal runaway of a lithium-ion battery, they can reignite actually up to 2 or 3 weeks later. Not just immediately. So it's a real problem. And as you say, Andy, I think it's going to take the regulator to come up with a plan as to how they're going to mitigate this situation in future.
Yeah, and let's take an example that I can think of. If you're in one of the fancy posh seats that lies flat, etc., if one of your devices slips through there, you move the seat, it cracks the cells, and they can't get it out where it is. That is a massive problem, because you can keep trying to remove the oxygen, but it is going to keep reigniting. So again, like you're saying there, the cabin crew are incredibly well trained, and they're trained in exactly what to tell the flight deck so that we can make a decision on whether we need to divert immediately or not.
Nev, I think one of the things that I thought was quite interesting, I think you put it on your LinkedIn, if I remember, and the comment you made, I thought is probably, I think you're absolutely on the money with that, if you can remember what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that these situations, I mean, as John Hutchinson, our Concorde captain, mentioned in a previous interview, although they are there to serve you tea and coffee and wine, the cabin crew are there to assist, give you maximum assistance in the event of an emergency, and that's what they're trained to do. Now, the thing is, with this sort of situation on a long haul flight to Las Vegas, it was fortunate that the fire wasn't greater than it was, and it was fortunate that they were on the initial descent into Las Vegas. So they were probably, actually, I think as it turned out, they were probably 10 or 15 minutes out, wasn't it? I seem to recall. In fact, we do have the audio in a second. But I mean, had that been, halfway across the Atlantic, they would have had a much longer diversion to an alternate airport, whether that been in Greenland or Canada or, weather permitting, wherever they could go. So, yeah, it was fortunate in that respect. But no, these things are becoming more and more of a problem, definitely.
Indeed, and the comment you made on the LinkedIn, Nev, was that you genuinely see this as possibly the biggest threat to aviation at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would sooner. I'm not an operating captain, obviously, but if I was, I would sooner have an engine failure or a depressurization versus a fire in the cabin. any day of the week, because that is all massively trained for by the flight deck crew. Whereas a fire is a very dynamic environment, isn't it?
It's my biggest fear: a fire or smoke that you don't know the source of. That is my biggest fear in operating an aircraft. And it's going back to your point about the cabin crew being well trained and not being there primarily to serve you drinks. I make that point on every welcome PA on board the aircraft. The cabin crew are there primarily for your safety as well as your comfort. And I make sure that I say that every time to the 3 people who are actually listening to what I say on the PA. And just to reiterate that point. Yeah. Because they're not there. They are highly trained, underpaid people, in my opinion, who one day will possibly have to save somebody's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree on that one. Now, our in-house cabin crew, I don't know if you noticed in the notes there, has put a little bit of a sort of what to do should you find yourself in that situation. I'm just going to whiz through it very quickly, basically. So if you're immediately next to the incident, shout for help, press the call bell repeatedly and steadily. Move away from the flames. Do not take anything with you. Stay clear of the aisle, even if it means squeezing into an occupied seat. Encourage others to do the same. If you're further away from the incident, do not approach the incident. Stay away from the aisles. Stay away from the doors and jump seat areas. Most firefighting equipment is located in this vicinity, which I have to say I didn't know. And if you're affected by the smoke, move away if possible. Stay low. Pour water on part of your clothes and breathe through it. Interesting. And how to prevent or mitigate incidents like these. Know where your items with batteries are located. Preferably place these on your person or in your seat pocket. Under the seat in front of you is the next best thing. Do not bring any item with a battery with damage to it on board. Do not use any battery-powered device that is heat generating. There's a lot of people who have these little sort of like gilets, don't they, with like heating.
Oh, the heated part, yeah.
Stuff inside of them. So definitely watch out for that. And if your device starts to overheat, bring it to the attention of the cabin crew immediately. This is one, and I'm very embarrassed to say I did not know. Do not place any power bank in the overhead lockers. I can confirm I've been guilty of that in the past. And if your device gets lost, slip down the seats or into any unreachable area, do not attempt to retrieve it. Do not move the seat. Do not move a burning, overheating or smoking device unless directed to do so by crew, and ultimately follow the crew instructions.
Exactly. It's what they're there for.
There you go. It's the public service announcement from Plane Talking UK podcast.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add to that, Andy?
Once we've got past lithium-ion technology and we've all got personal nuclear reactors in our pockets to power everything, that'll be the next problem, you know?
What could possibly go wrong there?
But we have got some audio to play, haven't we, from ATC for this particular story. And if you just want to reset, and there we go.
Speedbird Vegas 271. We're currently on an emergency arrival into Las Vegas. We've had a fire in the cabin. It was a mobile phone that has scorched the inside of the cabin. It's under control currently. We're landing in 5 minutes. We'll be taxiing as expeditiously to the gate as we can. We have got wheelchair carry-offs aboard, so we're requesting maximum assistance once we get onto stand. Understand Echo 1? If you could confirm that, please.
Speedbird 271, you'll be going to Echo 3 today. Have you passed this information to the tower?
Yeah, tower's aware. Echo 3 is copied. So once we get to stand, if you could have, please, all the personnel that you have available to help us deplane the aircraft in an orderly manner. We're trying to keep the panic to a minimum in the cabin. Obviously, we'll just get people off, keep them moving, but please have wheelchairs ready to go.
Speedbird 271, roger. Expect maximum assistance as requested.
Thank you very much. We'll see you in approximately 10 minutes.
Now, that was the
very
calmest. Hats off to the pilot there. What do you think of that, Andy?
Pilot to be anything but?
Well, no, I just thought he was. How do I put this? He was very British.
You go into it's weird when things happen. You go into your trained mode, and you just get on with it, and then afterwards, that's when the heart starts racing. Actually, what just happened there?
Yeah. Yeah. Nev, have you experienced anything like this? Have you witnessed anything like this?
Not quite. No, we on the way back from, it might have been that very show actually. A 747 out of Los Angeles back into Heathrow, but the captain skillfully, because there's so much redundancy on a 747 anyway, informed us as we were coming into land at Heathrow. So we might see some fire trucks following us to the gate. Nothing to be alarmed about. It's just that we lost our number 4 hydraulic system overnight.
Oh,
so telling you after the event rather than during it. And of course, a loss of a hydraulic system on a 747 is not actually a big deal, particularly as long as you've got the sufficient redundancy in the aircraft to do it. But so no, that's the closest I've got. I've had a couple of turnbacks because the aircraft wouldn't pressurize. We've had heart attacks on board and returns things like that. But no real fire, I'm pleased to say. And I don't want to ever be on an aircraft where that happens either.
So the nearest I got to it was from my coach driving days, believe it or not. And do you remember when, I think it was EE, when you bought a phone, they would give you, in the early days of the power banks, they gave you a power bank that like came with your phone to sort of have that. And I remember doing a school trip, and it suddenly, literally spontaneously combusted in the, I mean, I call it the cabin, but like, if you like, in the coach seats behind. And I literally did, I sort of took the wire off the phone, because the kid still had it plugged into his phone, even though it was busy smoking away. I literally unplugged it, opened, because we were still parked at this point. So I basically opened the auto door and flung it out onto the grass out the front there, where it then proceeded to literally thermally run away with itself. I mean, bearing in mind this thing was probably only 10-15 centimeters maximum in height, so it was really quite small. It was literally one of these like column sort of things, and it was probably 15 to 20 minutes that it was sat there merrily exploding to itself. We didn't leave, if you like, until it was out, if that makes sense, because I didn't obviously want to leave it as a problem for someone else. And I was quite surprised that something so small, because I wasn't really aware of this whole sort of like thermal runaway thing. I wasn't sort of, privy to it, I guess, and how long it lasted before it was over. That's the bit that surprised me the most.
Yeah, this is one of the problems with that technology, isn't it? When they do go into runaway, it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And very few retardant systems can actually fully put it out quickly, so it needs a lot of water on it to starve it from oxygen.
Was it a greeny, sparkly coloured?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yes, yeah. Right. I've got one of those in my drawer at home. That's now wearing me. That's
okay,
in my drawer.
Right. When was the last time you charged it?
When I used it at Glastonbury in 2015.
Right.
So
okay.
It should be completely depleted by now.
Yes, one would hope so. Absolutely. It's. I mean, it's a brilliant technology at the end of the day. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I've got power. My power bank that I've got will keep my phone going for a few days if I'm away and things like that. I mean, they are a great technology, but as you say, maybe that maybe that radioactive thermonuclear core thingy might be a safer option. Who knows? But yeah,
it's a subject we're going to come back to, isn't it? Because,
it is.
We're going to be covering this subject for many times during the course this year and longer, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm just very pleased that all my former industry mates on that 787 into Harry Reid International were well looked after, and the airline and ATC, by the sounds of things, did a good job, which is very nice to hear.
So moving on to the next story, and Andy, you've got the next one, and it's something I think we've spoken and touched on before on the show about the locks.
Here we go. Right, everybody, you've got to be honest with yourselves here. In an evacuation, could you walk away from everything in the overhead locker? The International Air Transport Association has launched a new campaign urging passengers to leave all cabin baggage behind during an aircraft evacuation. The campaign follows a survey of travellers in the UK, United States, UAE and Singapore. Although 8 in 10 passengers believed they knew what to do during an emergency, only 61% correctly said they should leave every personal item behind and immediately exit the aircraft. 1 in 10 admitted they might still attempt to take their baggage even after being instructed not to. IATA says retrieving just one bag can delay other passengers, obstruct an aisle, cause someone to fall or damage an evacuation slide. Its Save a Life, Not a Bag campaign reinforces 3 simple messages. Follow the cabin crew, leave everything behind and move quickly towards the nearest usable exit. Passengers are also being encouraged to keep essential items such as passports, money and medication securely on their person before takeoff and landing. 60% of those surveyed said they would be less likely to retrieve a bag if those essentials were already with them. IATA also says it will begin with passenger education, although stronger measures, including penalties or ways of preventing overhead lockers from being opened, could eventually be considered if travellers continue to ignore evacuation instructions. So would you take your bag, gentlemen? I hope I know all your answers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I said it. Your bag was at your feet and you had it right there and it was very easy for you to pick up as you were leaving your seat. Because I often tend to travel with my carry-on by my feet and it's very convenient. It's easy to pick it up and carry it around.
But I think most people, when you go through the departure gate to get on board the aircraft, you have to show the staff your boarding pass normally and your passport as well. And I think most people, I mean, I do, I can't be bothered to quickly undo my bag, put everything back in the bag. So I just pop the passport in my pocket, my phone in my pocket, done. Then the bag goes in the overhead locker.
Yeah, I'll make a point of making sure that my phone and passport and wallet are in my pockets, as well as my shoes are on for takeoff as well. Another thing that gets me, people kicking their shoes off for takeoff. I treat every takeoff, regardless if I'm a passenger or a pilot, as a rejected takeoff. Sorry.
Yeah. Dave. The other thing I've, although not a problem if I'm in my usual seat, of course, but if I wasn't, I always, before departure, work out who I'm going to trample on to get out of the aircraft. I'm quite serious about that in terms of how many rows I need to get to an exit, whether it's in front of me or behind me. It's just something I've always done in the last sort of, 15 years or so of flying.
So would that include when traveling over seats?
Yeah, definitely.
And when traveling in business, I expect to be carried off the aircraft.
Yes,
you've paid a lot of money for those seats.
Oh dear! But no, you can't. I mean, there's been a lot of problems in the past with people taking hand luggage with them. The problem is that it slows the whole process down of evacuating the aircraft, and it just needs one person. And it's an absolute chaotic situation for the rest of the passengers and the crew.
If you chuck a roller bag down the slide, it could easily destroy it. Then you've just lost an exit.
Yeah.
Those slides are flimsy. Danger of bags snagging on seats or actually taking up room between people that are trying to get out.
Yep, absolutely. It gets in the way, it blocks everything up, and aircraft are not designed when they're designing for evacuation and testing evacuation. It's not designed for with baggage because there's strict rules around that again about the amount of time it has to take to get everybody off, and it's assumed no bags.
How many seconds should you be evacuating an A320 in?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Good question. Good question, Nick. On the spot.
Is it 90 seconds with half of the exits blocked?
I think so.
I remember seeing when Airbus did that big documentary series about the development of the A380, didn't they? And there was a big thing about how quickly they had to do that, and they got a bunch of volunteers to do the kind of regulator test of evacuating the aircraft. And it was an impressive thing to watch, but it was clearly quite choreographed.
Yes, and that's how they do the test. And Nev, you're absolutely right. It's 90 seconds with only 50% of the available exits in use. And I mean, when it's choreographed like that, the panic element is not there either.
Yeah.
So you don't have Nev elbowing you in the back, getting you out of the way to get out the aircraft.
He's not elbowing you in the back; he's climbing on your head.
Yes.
But I think that the thing is it doesn't account for smoke. It doesn't account for the fact that it might be dark or that you might not be able to see where you're going.
Yeah.
I say in the chat room, John Falk says that the tests are done, but they are done with people who are pretty much prepared for what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I suppose, you can't. I mean, you can never really prepare 100% for an event like this, but you can obviously have the knowledge of what to do when something like this happens. So, yeah. Right, moving on. Nick, you've got the next one for this one, and good news for any of our listeners who live in France.
Yeah, so this is actually from the corporate.airfrance.com website. And their headline is "Become a Pilot. Applications are now open for the Air France Cadet Program." Air France is launching its new recruitment campaign for the Cadet Program. Applications will be open from June the 15th to July the 31st, 2026, for candidates wishing to join this high-level training program, fully funded by the airline. Unique among major European airlines, the Air France Cadet Program offers a comprehensive course delivered by partner flight schools selected by the airline. It lasts between 2 and 2.5 years, and it includes 9 months of theoretical instruction, followed by 15 to 21 months of flight and simulator training, totaling approximately 150 flight hours and 80 simulator hours. At the end of the program, cadets join Air France or Transavia as first officers, flying Airbus A220 or A320 aircraft at Air France, or Boeing 737 or A320neo aircraft at Transavia. Since the program was relaunched in 2018, more than 300 young pilots have joined the cockpits of Air France and Transavia, open to a wide range of profiles, including recent graduates, science students, and career changers. The program also helps strengthen diversity and increase the representation of women in the cockpit. In 2025, 25% of the selected cadets were women. Should be probably more than that, really. In partnership with the French Aeronautical Federation and the French Gliding Federation, Air France will also host a webinar dedicated to the cadet program on Tuesday, June the 23rd at 6 p.m. to present the selection process and the training program. Air France also offers career opportunities in other fields, particularly in aircraft maintenance and IT. All job openings are available on the airline's recruitment website. So you have to be a national of a member country of the European Economic Area or a Swiss national and be fluent in French. So I guess that counts us all out then. You've got to have a clean criminal record. So again, counts us all out. And you can't have been deferred twice or eliminated from the pilot selection program previously. You have to have a baccalaureate or hold a valid theoretical ATPL. And in the second year, a Grande École preparatory class. And yes, various other different things. But anyway, I think that and you've got to have a €200 application fee. But yeah, I guess
it doesn't seem so bad.
That's not too bad. But yeah, I suppose yeah. I mean, it does say in the article, which I am going to take a little bit of umbrage to, unique among major European airlines. Well, British Airways have got their Speedbird Academy, and I think EasyJet partner with CAE as well for a training scheme, and I think Ryanair have got a training scheme as well. So I think probably the article should say that they're catching up with all of the major European airlines. But it's nice to see anyway, and it's great to see that there do seem to be quite a lot of these big carriers that are actually implementing these types of programs, and obviously points toward a need for more pilots. Would you say that's true, Andy?
Yep, there's always been need for pilots. There's always a shortage, and now they're realizing that money is getting very tight for people now, and the airlines are going to have to stop paying for it if they want to fill the gaps in their recruitment. So yeah, it's good. It's really good.
And certainly, of course, as far as sorry, go ahead.
You get into Air France, that's it. That's your career sorted. You're there forever until you retire. Fantastic terms and conditions, fantastic pension. And you can go on strike a lot as well. It's just awesome.
I think it goes with the territory in France, doesn't it?
Is that in the terms and conditions, is it? Like,
yeah. Must be willing to strike once a year.
At least.
And you can use the standard language of aviation, which of course is French, as we know.
Yes, which, as Bill says, there's a former Air Canada pilot who might be looking for work as well at the minute. I'm sure he can speak French.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He's got a little work to do on his license, but other than that, it's if you are interested in it, by the way, and would like to take a look at their website, it's corporate.airfrance.com/en. If you want it in English, /airline-pilot. If you want to find out all the details, we'll make sure that's in the show notes as well. If you want to give it a go, why not? Yeah.
Not just for the young.
I think it's mostly
for the young. Yeah, mostly for the young.
Mostly for the young.
Next story. This comes to us from airmedandrescue.com. Very important, this one. Headline is Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance opens new Southampton, UK airport base. The service has relocated operations to Southampton Airport, aiming to reduce response times across the region. Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance has officially begun operating from its purpose-built airbase at Southampton Airport in southern England, following its relocation from Thruxton after nearly 2 decades. The service completed the transition on June the 9th after a period of operational testing alongside airport authorities, air traffic control and commercial airline traffic. Its clinical teams, pilots and critical care paramedics have now begun responding to emergencies permanently from the new site. Since launching back in 2007, the charity has operated from a location in the northern part of Hampshire. However, internal data showed that around 70% of its incidents occurred in the southern half of its coverage area, including Southampton, Portsmouth, Winchester and the Isle of Wight. Making the previous base less centrally located for many missions. The organisation said the move was expected to reduce flight times to patients, with early performance data indicating quicker access to incidents compared with the former operating base. And under the previous configuration, crews could spend up to 20 minutes flying to patients in the south of the region, followed by a leg return of the similar duration. The new 2-storey facility includes a helicopter hangar, a rooftop helipad, crew accommodation, training and briefing rooms, officers, aftercare facilities, and space for its emergency response vehicle fleet. A visitor and training centre overlooking the operational area has also been incorporated, designed for public education and community engagement activities. And the project was funded through a combination of charity reserves and a £3.6 million raised from more than 13,000 donors to support conversion of the airport site into a dedicated airbase. Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulances and the relocation form part of its long-term strategy to improve clinical outcomes by reducing times and definitive care, and a critical factor in trauma and cardiac emergencies. Now, for those of you who live in and around the area where me and Matt live here, the East Anglian Air Ambulance is one of the most important things that we have here.
Yeah.
In the region for critical care, especially with lots of road traffic accidents that we seem to have many in this area, and I don't think there are many days during the course of a 7-day week where you don't hear helimed flying over. Over here quite a bit, going to North Norwich.
I mean, they've got their challenges at the moment as well, isn't it? Because their Cambridge City Council have decided they're going to close the airport at Cambridge, which is where the Cambridgeshire
is based,
Helimed or whatever they call them. It's not Helimed, is it? It's
the air ambulance.
It's
based there.
Is based, isn't it? And so they're now having to get involved in a massive fundraising campaign to build. They found a potential site that's basically the other end of the M11, isn't it? But sort of bit of a challenge really for them on that one. But I don't know. Part of me is a bit worried that we are so reliant on said heliport thing, and yet it's something that is completely funded
by donations.
Yeah,
That is bad.
I don't know. I feel like that. I feel like that's wrong. I don't know how others feel about it.
I would agree. It should be a government service. Back to the Hampshire and Isle of Wight service here, though. I think this is brilliant because this is going to save them a fortune in terms of flight time and costs, and to have their own proper facility with training, briefing rooms, officers, everything. I mean, Thruxton's a racetrack where they had it previously. This makes much more sense. But yeah, I think it should be part of the NHS, to be honest. It should be part of that service. Or police/NHS. The police could operate it, NHS from the medical side.
Well, I mean, the police helicopters are not funded by they're not voluntary funded, are they? I mean,
it's funded by the
government.
Yeah, government. Yeah,
absolutely. So, anyway, by the way,
what's your local one, Nev, in your neck of the country? Is that
the Buckinghamshire ambulance?
Oh yeah,
yep. I can't remember where they're based off the top of my head, but no. Again, same story with funding and what have you. It's still a problem. It's still a registered charity.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm very proud to say that when my birthday comes around in August this year, again, I will be
you'll be doing a little fundraiser,
for
absolutely.
the East Anglian Air Ambulance.
Nick, what's the one for you?
I've got the Devon Air Ambulance, which are based down at Exeter, so it's only about 15 minutes from me.
Oh, nice.
But they cover Devon and Somerset, I believe, and obviously probably down as far as into Cornwall a little bit as well, although I think there is another air ambulance service that's based at Newquay, I believe.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a pretty big area for Devon. But the beauty of it is you can get across Devon in a helicopter. You can probably go to the furthest extreme of Devon in probably 35 or 40 minutes, I'd have thought. So yeah, it really is an invaluable service. In fact, about a month ago, I signed up to the Devon Air Ambulance lottery to help raise a bit of money.
We do the East Anglian.
It cost me about £4.50 a month, and I might get a chance of winning a couple of grand. But it's it's a few extra quid in their coffers, and
absolutely,
goodness knows they need it. So
Dirk S in the chat room says the air ambulance is served by a couple of different service providers, but mainly funded by the government in Germany.
Rightly so.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it astonishes me that they're still charities. It really does.
Yeah, ridiculous. But there we go. That's the UK for you. Matt, you've got the next story. Nice one here from over in the Middle East.
Indeed, and I apologise in advance for most of the names which I will abort.
Oh my word!
Trying to pronounce, so my sincere apologies for this one. Flyer.co.uk is the source for these, and the headline is that Emirates Airline appoints first Emirati female captains. So Emirates has promoted its first 2 Emirati female captains, marking a significant milestone for the airline and its national pilot programme. Captain Hanan Mohammed Jawad and Captain Bahika Al-Mahiri have both received their 4th stripe and will command aircraft on Emirates' Boeing 777 fleet. Captain Jawad joined the airline through its national cadet pilot program in 2008 and has accumulated more than 9,250 flying hours. She says that her ambition began at the age of 14 after seeing the UAE's first female pilot on television. Captain Al Mahari said that they entered the same program in 2011 and has credited the airline's training captains and mentors with helping to develop both her technical ability and her leadership skills. She says that she now hopes to pass that experience on to younger Emirati pilots. Their promotions follow more than a decade of training, operational flying and command preparation. Emirates says the achievement demonstrates how its cadet program can develop UAE nationals from initial training through to the highest levels of flight deck leadership. It is important to be precise about the milestone. Captain Jawad and Captain Al Mahiri are the first Emirati female captains at Emirates, but they are not the first Emirati women to reach airline command anywhere in the country. Captain Ashir Al Mazuri achieved that national first with Etihad Airways in 2022. She also went through the airline's cadet pilot program and was the first female UAE national to fly the A380. Major Miriam Al Masuri became the first female military fighter pilot when she graduated from the Khalifa bin Zayed Al Air College in 2007, and Noura Al Matrushi is the first female Emirati to be fully qualified as an astronaut. That distinction does not make the Emirates promotions any less significant. The achievement represents something deeper than a ceremonial first. Both women entered the airline as cadets and progressed through years of training, experience and assessment before reaching command. That makes their promotion evidence of a functioning long-term career pathway rather than a one-off appointment. This matters within the UAE because aviation is closely connected to the country's economic development, international identity and investment in highly skilled national careers. Emiratization is not simply about increasing the number of UAE citizens employed by major companies. It is also intended to create routes into technical, specialist and leadership positions. Women have already established a growing presence across the UAE aviation as pilots, engineers, technicians, executives and other specialists. However, the captain's seat retains particular cultural weight because it represents legal authority, operational responsibility and visible leadership. As such, a position a position brings with it a powerful role model effect. The wider regional significance should therefore not be framed as women suddenly being permitted to fly. Female aviators have been building careers across the Gulf and wider Arab world for many years. The more meaningful development is that women are increasingly progressing through established airline systems and reaching the senior positions from which they can train, mentor and promote those who follow them.
You've done well to get through that. There were some hard to pronounce names in there.
My phone kept going off, so I have no doubt I've got a list of corrections in my phone. Yeah.
That's a phenomenal amount of hours to get under your belt before getting your command. 9,250. That's more hours than I have. And I've had my command for 10 years. And it's probably more hours than I'll have when I retire due to the management job that I do now and barely fly. So these captains have a lot of experience under their belt.
Wow. Didn't think of it like that. You sort of say 9,250 hours and that's not many.
That is a lot.
It is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very much so.
Blimey.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done. Yeah. Right, moving on to the next story, Nev, and we are moving to the world or the land of boomerangs and Qantas.
Yes, well, Virgin Australia, actually. It's on aerotime.aero, and Virgin Australia expects to welcome its first Boeing 737-10 arrival in late 2027, marking the next phase of the airline's fleet renewal program. On June the 13th, Virgin Australia said that confirmation of the delivery timeframe is based on manufacturer Boeing's positive progress with US regulatory approvals. The airline has 10 firm orders for the Dash 10 aircraft. This is going to be the largest aircraft in Virgin Australia's fleet and will give us more capacity and more flexibility across our network, says Virgin Australia's CEO Dave Emerson. This is an important next step in our fleet renewal program as we continue to build a younger, quieter and more fuel efficient fleet. He also added that fleet renewal is the single biggest lever we have to reduce emissions in the near term, and the 737-10 will build on the benefits we are already seeing from the Dash 8. Virgin Australia celebrates 3 years of Boeing 737 MAX operations in June of this year, with 19 737-8 aircraft now in the fleet. The airline will take delivery of an additional 7 737-8s before the end of the calendar year, bringing its total of these aircraft to 26. In addition to offering more seats, introducing the 737-10 will preserve commonality across the fleet, enhance flexibility and improve environmental performance on both domestic and international routes, says Erica Pearson, who's Boeing's Vice President of Commercial Sales and Marketing for Southeast Asia and Oceania. We remain committed to supporting Virgin Australia as they embark on this new chapter. Well, the announcement comes as Virgin Australia celebrates its 150th Boeing 737 delivery and the 100th 737 in its current fleet. Named Lake Centenary, the aircraft carries a special red livery and has the names of more than 8,000 team members printed on the overhead lockers. A few stats for you for the MAX 10. Maximum takeoff weight, 89,796 kilos. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Passenger capacity up to 230 passengers in a single class layout, or 188 in a typical two class layout. And they'll be using 2 CFM International LEAP 1B engines. Interestingly, at the end here it says special gear. Features a unique trailing link main landing gear that telescopes to provide 9.5 inches of added ground clearance during takeoff and landing.
Okay, I have many questions.
Well, I mean, if you have an Airbus A321, you don't need one of those, but you've got to be a bit careful, haven't you? You know.
Yeah, and you can lift 4 ton more on a 321 as well. Just saying, you know.
I was going to say, what are the comparisons between this and the 321, Andy?
Similar size, 21 can lift more and doesn't need some fancy gear to stop the tail from smacking the ground. Not bashing the Boeing here, just stating it as it is.
Facts, Andy, facts.
Yeah.
So 230 passengers max for a single class light. So what we're saying is here, this is trying to compete, well, not trying to compete, but trying to match the awesome aircraft that was the 75.
Yep.
But never will.
No, designed for a different mission.
Yeah.
True enough.
Right, sticking with you, Andy. And
yes.
Nice little Airbus one for you.
Yeah, well, a big Airbus, really.
A big Airbus, yeah.
This is from flightglobal.com. Air Canada operates first domestic A321 XLR flight ahead of transatlantic debut on the 15th of June. Air Canada has operated its first commercial flight with its long-awaited new Airbus A321 XLR, flying domestically between Montreal to Toronto ahead of the carrier's first transatlantic service with the type, from Montreal to back to its birthplace, to Toulouse, on the 15th of June. The airline, which took delivery of the long-range narrowbody in late April after years of delays, says it will operate several domestic flights with the aircraft before deploying it on the transatlantic route in mid-June. The entry into service of the first A321 XLR marks a transformative moment for Air Canada and the beginning of an exciting new era for our customers, industry partners and colleagues, states Air Canada's Chief Commercial Officer Mark Gallardo. The aircraft is the first of 30 321 XLRs ordered by the carrier, half of which are leased and half of which are coming directly from Airbus. The jets will all be powered by Pratt & Whitney's PW1100 Golf-geared turbofans. Air Canada says it will integrate the 321 XLR into its schedule progressively to support growth across its network. Air Canada first ordered the aircraft in March 2022 and had originally expected to receive the first aircraft in the first quarter of 2024. This was later updated to the fourth quarter of 2025, but the initial jets did not arrive until April 2026. The XLRs are part of a wider fleet renewal plan that will see Air Canada add 14 Boeing 787-10s and 8 Airbus A350-1000s. It's also in the process of adding 65 Airbus A220s and has taken delivery of 5 Boeing 737 MAX jets this year. Well, that's pretty cool. I understand why they're using them domestically to begin with. It's good route proving to get the crews used to it. But who fancies transatlantic on a 321?
Oh, don't.
How much is it going to cost our listeners to go across to Canada then, Andy?
I believe an economy seat on this service will set you back £526 return, which is not bad, really. But if you want to sit in the posh seats, you mean the Nev and Andy seats, business class, you better get your gold card out, as it's £3,661 return.
Ooh,
Which, again, I don't think is too bad, to be honest.
But you are in a single aisle aircraft, Andy.
Yes, business class, fine. Don't mind that. In economy, I'm all right.
Is that simply because it's a bit of a nuisance to be able to get to the loo on a single aisle aircraft?
Sitting with all those other people wedged in next to you as well, isn't it?
It's the people, isn't it? That's the issue. Yeah.
Isn't that the
I'd be
danger?
interested to know from cabin crew how they're finding operating single aisle aircraft on these long sectors like this.
Well,
I wonder how they're coping with that.
Hopefully they've learnt from Iberia's mistake. Do you remember when we talked about them where they were having to reinstall the rear galleys now that they originally took out because they can't do the service on them? We talked about that a while back.
Yes,
so hopefully,
yes, you're right. Yeah.
Hopefully Air Canada have learnt from that, and Airbus have hopefully learnt from that as well when offering fits to airlines. But it mustn't be great because even on short haul sectors on a narrow body, I know we're diverting away from the subject now, but the queues for the toilets and trying to get down the aisles from the galleys, it's an absolute nightmare for them.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Now, Nick, you've got something to slide in the end here, haven't you?
Yeah, I just thought I'd shoehorn this one in at the end here, and I just wanted to see if any of you guys had seen this cool little product. So this was sent to me by a good friend of the show, Liz, who thought it might be of interest. I've been seeing a lot of ads for this on social media.
I've seen these.
It's a pretty cool little gadget. If you go to the website, it's nearestplane.com. And it uses a little LED matrix display. It's kind of roughly iPad sized ish, and it would give you details of what's flying overhead or nearby. The device uses ADS-B data, so no having to reach for Flight Radar 24 whenever you hear a plane going overhead. And the range is extendable from between 5 and 50 miles. So for anyone like myself who live in a part of the world where there isn't much air traffic, you still get updates of stuff that's kind of near you. It's £110 in a Father's Day special offer. So if anyone wants to get me one, I'd be very grateful.
Right. Okay. Oh, I thought this was a picture of your one.
No, this is not mine. This was a photo taken from their website. So yeah, I'm just looking for any nice people out there that would like to buy one for me. But yeah, what do you think, guys? Is it something you'd have in your homes?
Now, my office is full of technology and random stuff, and I think this would fit in perfectly in there.
Hey,
good lad.
Lovely.
Do you get much traffic overhead, Andy?
A lot into Newcastle, and I also get a lot of crossing traffic. Most mornings, I get all the Lufthansa proper wide bodies, 340, 600, 74-8s overhead going back into Frankfurt. And then in the afternoon, them coming back along with Emirates and all sorts, because they sort of cross over my way to head out into the North Atlantic tracks. So I get loads of stuff.
Yeah. I occasionally get North Atlantic track stuff if the wind's doing something weird and they're all coming out through the south. But mostly for me, it's late night stuff that's going to South America, weirdly. So it's all the big heavies that are going down that way. And then I get all of the kind of tourist stuff that's flying north to south or south to north, that's kind of heading up country.
Oh, Liz, why did you send this in? I'm trying not to spend money.
I was just saying, I have a piece of wall. Matt can see it just there, I'm pointing out now, Matt. There's a piece of wall there where that would fit.
Well, perhaps if
Lovely
Nearest Plane would like to reach out to us as a generous sponsorship deal for PTUK, we could, as product testers, we could evaluate the product for them in our homes.
Oh, does this now mean I've got to put that little 3-layered P in the bottom right-hand corner of our feed now?
Oh, right, yeah.
Product placement.
Product placement, yeah.
Oh, God, sorry. Am I getting us into trouble? Sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm going to stop talking now.
Yeah. That's all right. Leave it with me. I'll find one.
All right. Let's go on the website. You guys talk amongst
yourselves.
Right, okay.
Here we go.
We've lost Andy now.
We've lost Andy, yeah.
I'll forward you on my address, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill says in the chat room, Andy says, I figured it would look good in the pub, Andy.
Yeah, true enough.
Oh, I didn't think about the pub. Maybe I need two, one for the pub, one for the office.
Oh, I assumed you were thinking about the pub.
We should be on commission here.
I reckon if you buy two, you'll get one free. So
nearestplane.com. If you're listening, we should be on commission here.
Right, okay, we're now delving into the areas of an advert.
Advert, exactly. Right. Thanks for that, Nick.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's hand things over to Nev to introduce this week's Retro.
Yes, it's another installment of the Retro Airline Ad of the Week, and this week it's a treat for you all as we head back to 1976 and the golden age of flying, where there was only one boss on United, and then we fast forward to 1982, where you can fly anywhere in the US for $29 with this low-calorie airline and on the DC-9.
United Airlines makes me feel like the boss. They know I'm a busy woman. So now they've given me more carry-on space than any other airline, which I prefer to think of as carry-off space. I grab my case and hat from above, completely unsquashed. I get my clothes, free of wrinkles, from the closet. I whisk my suitcase from United's brand new luggage racks, and the boss is on her way. Fly those friendly skies of United.
Where you are the boss.
AirCal introduces Burbank. And here's our spectacular introductory offer. $29 to San Francisco, $29 to Oakland, $29 to San Jose, $29 to Sacramento, and $29 to come back. This is a limited time offer, so call AirCal or your travel agent now. Yes, not only is Burbank beautiful, but AirCal has just made it the travel bargain capital of the world.
$29.
$29.
Do you think, how much were the flights again? Sorry?
$29. Yeah. Apparently.
Not a lithium battery in sight.
True enough.
No.
True enough.
But what airline nowadays would give up an entire row for somewhere to store your luggage free of charge? Not a chance.
Not a chance. Yes. Different times, hey, people.
Bring back the DC-9.
True enough. True.
I think your ticket would be very expensive if they brought back a DC-9.
Yeah. And the skies would be very, very much darker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what the chemtrails are? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
No comment.
No, okay.
Richard Adams has put in the chat room, wonder what that $29 would be in current money.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually.
I can barely understand.
Because it sounds really cheap to us, but back in 1982, $29.
Well, they didn't really have. I mean, one of the reasons why I think. I think one of the reasons why we lost sight of it is because they did literally change our currency in. Was it 72?
Yeah,
something like
it's
that?
$100 in money today, by the way.
$100.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's all it is.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
True enough.
It's not bad.
Yeah, 1971 is when we changed that.
71. My apologies. Sorry.
15th of February.
Oh, okay.
1971.
Are you doing that
I
from
remember
memory?
it well.
Oh,
you weren't even born. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, no. Mum refers to it frequently, so I am aware of it. Yeah, absolutely. But because that's the trouble, isn't it? We almost lost the. Because it was such a significant change, if you like, for us to go from the pound, shillings, pence into, decimal.
Far more sensible currency.
Well, there is that, yes. But because the Americans haven't really had... Have they experienced something similar to that?
No.
No. Don't tell me they got something right. That's a worrying thought, isn't it? Maybe we should
Anyway.
move on.
Anyway, right. Up next, we have got the lovely grey military stuff. And this week's, instalment comes to us all the way from the US, and it is from our very own Armando. Take it away.
What's up, Buggies? 135, 50 Angel 16, heading 340. Okay. 100 St. Buggies.
18 to start off the military segment this week. Above all, our hearts go out to the team out at Edwards Air Force Base, where a B-52 Stratofortress crashed yesterday on takeoff. We have no idea what happened. We don't know if it was weather-related, mechanical, aircraft, airframe, anything. Details have not really come out other than the fact that 8 souls on board perished. That was a combination of military individuals, government civilians, and Boeing test engineers. Edwards Air Force Base is a test wing, and we have no idea what this aircraft was doing other than the command for the base mentioned that this was a routine test mission. So if you listen to some of the podcasts out there, there's a lot of testing that goes on. Civilians are heavily involved in that testing. So above all, our hearts go out to the team out there at Edwards Air Force Base. So continuing on with the military segment, this week may end up being remembered less for what happened in the air and more for what happened at the negotiating table. After months of conflict, the United States and Iran appear closer than ever to a formal agreement. But it's important to understand what has actually been agreed to. What we're seeing today is not a comprehensive peace treaty. It's closer to a framework, more of a roadmap. Or perhaps the aviation equivalent of a checklist before engine start. It tells both sides what still needs to be accomplished, but it doesn't mean that the aircraft is really ready for takeoff quite yet. And as we've seen throughout the last week, missiles, drones, and military operations continued right up until the moment negotiators began discussing implementation. Looking across the last 7 days, air operations remained active despite that diplomatic momentum. Iranian drone and missile activity continued across the Gulf region, while coalition aircraft maintained patrols, surveillance missions, and deterrence operations. Reconnaissance aircraft remained particularly active, with ISR platforms continuing to monitor military movements, shipping lanes, and missile activity throughout the theater. There were also several key military strikes that underscore how fragile the current situation remains. Israeli aircraft conducted strikes against Hezbollah-linked command and control facilities in Lebanon over the weekend, which Israel stated were responses to previous attacks originating from Lebanese territory. Iran warned that continued strikes in Lebanon could jeopardize the emerging agreement. Meanwhile, U.S. strikes earlier this week targeted Iranian radar and command facilities in southern Iran, following the loss of a U.S. helicopter that was operating near that Strait of Hormuz. Those strikes appeared designed to signal resolve while still keeping diplomatic channels open. In other words, the negotiations did not stop military operations. The military operations simply became another form of negotiation. The biggest story this week is the emerging agreement, of course, between Washington and Tehran. But from a military aviation perspective, it's important not to oversell what has happened so far. Many headlines are describing this as a peace deal. That's not really accurate. What appears to have been reached is more a framework agreement that creates space for future negotiations. The reported agreement addresses immediate issues such as ending active hostilities, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and beginning a new round of technical talks, as they're calling them. However, many of the hardest issues have been deliberately pushed into future negotiations. The ballistic missile program, long-term sanctions relief, verification mechanisms, future nuclear restrictions, regional proxy forces, most of those questions actually remain unanswered. In fact, several reports suggest that the agreement includes a 60-day period specifically designed to negotiate many of those unresolved issues. So if you're trying to describe this agreement to other listeners and to your friends, I'd argue that it's best viewed as a table of contents. The chapter titles exist. The actual chapters have not yet been written. History tells us that writing those chapters is often the hardest part. Another important point this week is that military targets continued to be struck even as negotiators worked towards an agreement. Israeli operations remain focused on Hezbollah command nodes and support infrastructure in Lebanon. Israeli officials argue that these facilities remain legitimate military targets regardless of broader U.S.-Iran negotiations. On the Iranian side, military radar installations and command facilities remained the focus of American operations when strikes occurred. The objective appears less about expanding the conflict and more about maintaining pressure during negotiations. This is a familiar pattern in military history. Diplomacy and military operations often occur simultaneously. Negotiators seek leverage, military commanders seek advantage, and both sides attempt to improve their position before any final agreements are signed. And that's exactly what this week looked like. One additional development worth watching involves regional reactions to the proposed agreement. Not everyone appears equally enthusiastic. Israel has publicly expressed concerns that several major security issues remain unresolved, particularly regarding Iran's ballistic missile program and support for regional proxy organizations, according to the New York Post. That matters because even if Washington and Tehran reach an agreement, regional security dynamics won't automatically disappear. The underlying military realities that drove this conflict still exist. The missiles still exist, the drones still exist, those regional rivalries still exist. The agreement may reduce immediate tensions, but it doesn't eliminate the reasons those tensions emerged in the first place. Looking ahead, the key question is whether negotiators can turn this framework into an actual agreement, because what exists today is best viewed as a starting point, not an end state. The shooting may be slowing, negotiations may be accelerating, but the hardest work is probably still ahead. That's the air picture for this week. I'm Armando. Thanks for listening. We'll see how this all evolves and pick it up again next week.
I mean, obviously, the big sadness, of course, is the B-52, and I guess we'll find out more about that at some point, won't we?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little while until we find out exactly what went wrong there. I know there's plenty of speculation out there, as always, on social media, but it's going to be a while before they actually release the findings of what actually did happen with that aircraft. It's been I was saying before we went on live on air tonight, it's been a funny week. There's been no end of incidents and accidents happen in the last kind of 7 days around the world, including another BizJet today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was in Mexico somewhere.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's a very busy week.
Not the good kind.
Not the good kind, no. Nick, you have got, where are we here? A special segment coming up next, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a back to Armando actually. So we've got a special video brought to us from Armando. So when he was over in the UK a couple of weeks ago for the 600th episode, he went to visit Adrian Willis from the British Aerobatic Academy at Falmere, which is just outside Royston in Hertfordshire. You can find out a bit more about them on their website, which is britishaerobaticacademy.com. So, yeah, let's see what they've got to say.
Adrian, so it's been 7 years since we sat not at this airfield. We sat at a different airfield. We were at Connington then. Since we sat and you showed the world how much I could.
Okay, we're just going to have to pause there for a moment. For some reason, that's not playing as it should. Just bear with me a moment while we try and work out why. Let me attempt to. Okay. Bear with me. Just give me a minute. Okay. Oh, it's a very, very large file and it's struggling to play it off the network. So just bear with me a moment while we get that downloaded.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. Oh, I will say, just while we are waiting for Matt to quickly transfer that file across.
Somebody just give me the timestamp. How long's it been?
Which would have been...
Bear with, just so I know where to find it for the edit.
2034. So that'd be 2032, so...
Hang on. I need that one. So that would be... sorry, while that's still copying across.
Anyone who's listening.
If somebody could put...
in the chat.
Where are we? 2:15:33, please.
2:15:33, yeah.
Thank you. 26% copied across.
2:15.
Why don't you play the next one while you're waiting for it to copy?
The next one. What's the next one?
2:15:33.
Yeah. What's the next one?
We've got some feedback from Derek.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Right, let's do that. Let's do that. If you get it loaded up, I'll...
Will it be a problem if it's out of sequence?
As in the stories? As in the...
the order of the...
No,
okay.
no, not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you get it ready.
Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. So who's interested?
Do you want to introduce that, Nev?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Yes, so
hang on, sorry, 2 seconds.
Our good friend Derek Grinner-Smith, he's very kindly sent us some audio feedback in. And a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the collision between the Cessna 182 and the paraglider that happened in and around the Swiss Alps. And Derek's got some interesting thoughts that he'd like to share with us. So let's play that.
Greetings, PTUK community. Just catching up on the last couple of episodes since the 600th show, and
No, it's because it's still downloading the file, isn't it? And it's trying to play it from the same place.
Oh, well, we tried.
Okay.
At least we tried.
Okay.
Anyway, while we're waiting for that to copy, I will be
60 seconds,
off
hang on.
to Priory Farm Airfield this Sunday, 21st of June. If anyone's listening, possibly, and is around that way, it's Priory Farm Airfield. It's not far from Tibbenham Airfield where they do the glider flying, but they've got a Father's Day flying this Sunday. Everything's starting there from 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be there. I'm going to take some video recording equipment, microphones, etc., and get some good stuff for the show from there as well, with some video and pictures and stuff. So hopefully we'll be playing that out in the upcoming weeks. So that's Priory Farm Airfield. It's a grass strip, completely grass. It's quite it's literally on a farm, on a working farm.
Okay, so that's now downloaded.
And that's near to you, is it, Carlos?
It's about half an hour away, Nick.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get my my 172 up and running. I was up at my local airfield the other day looking at what their training fleet is and checking out their price lists. So, yeah. Perhaps, again, if we're looking for sponsorship opportunities from the Devon and Somerset Flight Training Academy, if they'd like to reach out, I am a very willing student.
Yeah, we all are.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll run the video from where it was from Nick's intro, and then we'll then just pick up where we left off to do Grinner's.
Did you want me to redo the intro, Matt?
No, we should be okay. We should be able to run it from, because I've got to do an edit anyway, you see, so I might as well chop it from your last intro and then go straight into the video, if you see what I mean.
All right.
So
Yep.
I'm just going to switch to this source here. And okay, here we go.
Adrian, so it's been 7 years since we sat, not at this airfield, we sat at a different airfield. We were at Connington then. Since we sat and you showed the world how much I could not tolerate in an extra. Do you remember that? Do you remember?
I do, yes. I'm not sure that it's quite true that how much you couldn't tolerate, but yeah, it was good fun.
Well, I think
we enjoyed it.
My first flight in the extra, I think I lasted about 30 minutes with you showing me things before I was like, I think I'm done. I'm going to go get a cheese sandwich. I remember that day fondly because I had never done anything like that. And here we are 7 years later. So we're at Falmere, just down the street from Duxford. How has this company grown over the past 7 years?
Well, it's quite large now. We've got 20 aircraft, and I think we had seven 7 years ago. We've now got 3 different companies, an engine building company and an engineering company, as well as the flying schools.
Yeah.
And we're the busiest advanced UPRT provider, I think, in the world. And we're still big in aerobatics, although obviously aerobatics is quite a small world. So it's one-eyed man amongst blind folk is king.
Yeah.
But so it's gradually making good progress. And it's our own airfield, which is good.
So we had back then, we had the 2 extras, 2 Grobes, the Cardinal, and a 140.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
what is the fleet now?
Well, now we've got 3 extras, 4 Grobs, a Cardinal, an Arrow, 2 310s, Cessna 310Rs, and 1 in bits. So it's 3 310s.
Yeah.
2 Cessna 140s, 4 152s, a Fairchild Argus.
In which you do PPL training, of course.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we do tail wheel in it, and we do.
Oh, you actually use it?
Yeah, and we do some NPPL training.
Oh, okay.
And we've got 4 152s, 1 172, and I think that's about it.
Yeah,
adds up to 20 if I got my sum.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So most of your students now are, or a good portion of your students now are EASA students, right? Or
about 60% of EASA. I think we're one of the few EASA schools in the UK now.
Yeah.
So that's quite unique for us.
And then, you are the mayor of
Yes,
Falmere now, right?
So, kingdom.
How did that evolve? How did you go from your little operation in Connington to this? I mean, you're basically running.
Well, when COVID happened, Connington effectively closed.
Oh.
So then we moved off to Little Gransden, so we could keep flying. But Little Gransden, unfortunately, gets waterlogged in the winter. And I came across this for sale. And I thought, wow. Let's go and buy it. So we did. And it's lovely. It's the best grass in the country.
Yeah.
Because it's based on chalk, so it never gets waterlogged or anything. So it's a really
well, I was taking a walk around, and we don't have anything like this in the U.S. And this is, I mean, the background here behind us is quintessential British countryside. And I don't know if you remember, how many Americans come through here?
Well, quite a few. We've got Lakenheath around the corner.
Yeah.
And my partner, she's also an American flying instructor. So we do a lot of FAA training here for them.
Okay, yeah.
And also a lot of FAA to UK or to EASA conversions. So we have about 6 US servicemen here at one time.
It's just never lost on me the beauty of this place, the absolute beauty. But for us Americans coming over here and flying it over the British countryside, like so many people have done before us, and especially at these old airfields, for me it was always so special to show up and to go fly with you. Just because, I was in the Air Force, and the military, as you remember, tends to take all the fun out of it, right? With the paperwork and the safety and this thing, right? You can't just show up and go fly. But doing what you do, which I assume you love, because here you are 7 years. Well, how long have
I've been doing it for 20 years
20
now.
years now doing this, right?
Yes. But remember, this was a big American base during the war.
Yeah.
And in fact, this was our inspector for EASA is from Belgium. And I keep on reminding him when he comes here that we were bombing Belgium in 1914 from here. And it doesn't go down too well.
Yeah. So this was a pursuit group or a fighter group?
Yes.
Here, right?
In the Second World War, it was a fighter group. And then after the war, it was a Polish base for rehabilitation.
Oh, right.
But in the First World War, they were flying Vickers Vimies and other aircraft bombing the Western Front.
Sounds like a great trivia question.
Quite something. It was one of the oldest airfields in the world. I think the oldest was 1909, and this was 1910.
Wow.
So this is 6 months younger than the oldest in the world.
How does that make you feel to run this place, to keep that history going, to be still training students here? Basic training of students. How does that make you?
Well, I think it's great. And also, as we have a gate, people have to type in a combination. So it's not really, we don't get many general public here. So we can really do our own thing, which is quite nice. So it's like our own world.
Yeah, it's your own little heaven.
At least we can pretend it's our own world.
I mean, it feels like it to me. This is just absolutely gorgeous.
We've got lots of deer. We have about 400 deer.
So you have to watch that on takeoff and landing, right?
No, they're quite clever. They don't go onto the runway when we're using it.
Yeah.
But as soon as we finish flying, they're all over the place.
Interesting. I guess
it's pretty good. And we got some.
I guess it's 110 years of experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And we got some red kites. We got 8 red kites here, which is very nice.
Yeah.
No, it's a great place. Nice escape from reality.
Well, tell me about you. You haven't aged. Right?
How kind.
We're gonna go back to episode 320 or whatever it is. We're gonna compare the two videos, and you're gonna look exactly alike. I've gotten certainly grayer, but over the past 7-10 years, what's your own personal journey with this? What's your goal with all this?
Well, you presume I have a goal. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching aerobatics. I enjoy teaching other stuff as well now as well. And it's just nice to encourage youngsters to get into aviation, because in England there's a lot of airfields closing left, right and centre, and it's becoming more and more expensive for people. So we do our best to keep the price down and get as many youngsters involved as we can.
Yeah.
And also to push aerobatics, because aerobatics again is getting out of reach of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we still operate the extra 200.
Well, yeah. In the U.S., we don't necessarily have a course. There's no certification for aerobatics. I mean, you can go do aerobatics with someone and maybe get a certificate on a napkin that you can put on your wall. But it's not like here where you are training aerobatics. I know the time that I flew with you, really throwing an airplane around the sky, but understanding the aerodynamics that were happening has made me a better pilot. Just those few months that we flew together really made me a better pilot when you understand what the airplane's doing.
I think so. I mean, I guess the proof of the pudding is in the eating, in that it's quite a small world now. So we do quite a lot of test pilot training. Yeah. I've got a chap actually in Africa coming over here doing a pre-test pilot's course. I've got a chap who's just finishing his Airbus test pilot course now. He's done a lot of training. In fact, he's coming next week again. And a lot of the RAF people, the existing test pilots, come and do their, it's called qualival, where they fly different aircraft types for experience. So that's quite a unique offering.
Yeah.
Yes, the world of aerobatics is getting smaller all the time. So we're doing our best to keep it growing.
Yeah. Now, and you guys do teach, or do you still teach the different levels of competition aerobatics?
Yes, we teach all levels of competition, and we also teach formation aerobatics. And we have people in the States who fly over to do the formation aerobatic courses with us here, because there's nothing in the States that they know of.
No.
Anyway,
I've never heard of it.
And I've got a colleague who's got lots of extras, and he has a formation display team, so we help with that as well.
Wow.
So it's good.
Yeah, I think it's the exception to find a pilot in the U.S. that has flown formation at all. Not to mention aerobatic formation, but most pilots in the U.S. have never flown any kind of formation or anything like that. And I think the two go hand.
You're going to get bored of very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's challenging, but rewarding.
Yeah. What's been your most rewarding moment over the past? Well, let's just keep to the last 10 years. 10 years-ish.
Last 10 years. Well, I guess one of my students became intermediate world champion, which is quite an achievement. There's not many English flying schools can say that.
Yeah.
And he's gone on to great things. He's now a display pilot in Poland, and internationally respected. So that was one of the big achievements. I have lots of smaller achievements, where we have students who perhaps are not fantastically talented, and we get them through the advanced UPRT course or their commercial flying tickets and instant ratings, and that's quite rewarding. I mean, some people are just so gifted they need very little help, but the people who aren't and still getting them through is good. We have a very, very well, in fact, we have no failure rate. We've never failed anybody on the commercial pilot's license.
It's a badge of honor, yeah.
There's not many schools that can say that. Yeah.
It's so much more difficult here in the UK or in EASA also. I was speaking with one of your students here how just the differences between UK and EASA and the theory and the emphasis on different portions of flight, and we include night and some instrument in our PPL, but then that's a separate thing here, and it's just such a different it's much more academic, I feel like, here, and that's harder and harder to get people through, huh?
Well, the ATPL course is very academic. It's the equivalent of a degree.
Yeah.
But of course you can do it without a degree. Whereas in the States, to get an airline job, you really need a degree as well, don't you?
In general, yeah.
So here you don't.
It might not be required, but it's usually one of the first discriminators when they're either hiring a lot of people or not hiring a lot of people.
And also, our students come out with a frozen ATPL, and they go from here to flying for a major airline.
Yeah.
And in the States, you have to get 1,500 hours before you can get
into a regional jet. Yeah.
Yeah. And our instructors, they normally move on to airline jobs. In fact, Alex has just got a job with British Airways starting in a couple of months' time.
Amazing.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's rewarding, getting your instructors on to greater things as well.
And here you are, the steady hand that keeps us guiding this whole operation, right? So I have one last question, which is, so now you have 20 airplanes-ish. If you could add one more airplane to the fleet here, what airplane would that be?
Wow, what a question, eh? Well, I would like, I think, something like a PC-12. A PC-12 or a TBM 950, because I could then give my commercial students some high-speed navigation experience, and also I could use it to visit nice places.
Yeah,
absolutely. When it's not fully employed.
Yeah, I love the PC-12, and I think it's it's arguably for me, it's either the Piper Cub or the Pilatus PC-12, the best made airplane, my favorite airplane in the world.
Well, I just think it's great having the facility to take off on effectively a farm strip, a grass strip. We're at the longest point, we're 950 meters, but we declare 709 meters. Take off from that, and then land in Greece.
Yeah.
And go sailing.
Yeah.
It's just great. And can you imagine the Navexes? Well, we're going to stage through Pisa and then Provezza.
Yeah, and we're going to be at flight level 240 and then land at a 3,000 foot grass strip somewhere.
And of course, it ties in with what we do. We do a lot of farm strip flying, and there is a shortage of people who are talented to land in short strips, and that, of course, is one of the big selling points of the Pilatus.
100%. I do. I still stay simulator current in the Pilatus, and I fly maybe 10 to 20 times a year. Most of those are owner demos where an owner is moving up from something like a Meridian or a TBM often into a PC-12. And one of my absolute joys in flying is showing people what the Pilatus can do. And I will actually take them, and little known fact, the Air Force has 50-something PC-12, so I got a few hundred combat hours in Pilatuses, and showing a potential owner what that airplane can truly do. And it's exactly that. It's we can take off from Washington Dulles Airport, big international airport, flight level 280, but then land in 3,000 feet of grass at 74 knots, and still carry 4,000 pounds worth of stuff. Right?
I used to teach a friend aerobatics in Locarno in Switzerland, and he used to send a PC-12 down to pick me up, and it was great to just be picked up here and land there in time for lunch.
We'll talk about an aerodynamic airplane. If you fly that airplane by the AOA, by the angle of attack, it's amazing what it can do, and it makes even the mediocre pilot look good. The Pilatus really well. I got a chance to it was right around the time that we were flying together. I got a chance to go down to Stans and go to the Pilatus factory, and they showed me around. I think the PC-24 was just starting out back then, but I got to see the absolute craftsmanship down there at Pilatus, and then share some of our experiences from the military of how they over-engineered that airplane and how well it really handles in all aspects of flight. But, well, if anybody out there has an extra PC-12 that you can let Adrian add to the fleet, that'd be
great.
We can come to an agreement.
Yes,
Thank you for spending your 10 minutes with us and catching up. We'll catch what I suppose in the next 7 years we'll catch up again.
Yes.
That'd be great. I love it. Thank you, sir.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
absolutely.
I seem to recall there was a TV program where they used to catch up with people every 7 years. I think that's come to a close, hasn't it now? But thank you for putting that together, Nev. And of course, thank you to Armando for the interview as well. Really, really interesting. I say, perhaps we'll catch up with him again in 7 years.
Armando does love catching up with people in the UK when he's here. Like the various airfields and stuff. I know he's a big fan of Thorpe Abbott's.
When did you do that? When he was here with the
for the 600th, and he also likes going to the one that he used to fly out of at Bury St Edmunds. Well, I think it's closed now. There as well. Rougham. That's it. That's it. Yeah, well done. Thanks for that, Armando. Right, up next we have got that audio from Derek Grinner. So Derek has kindly sent in his thoughts regarding the Cessna 182 and the paraglider collision that took place in the Austrian Alps that we covered the other week on the show.
Greetings, PT UK community. Just catching up on the last couple of episodes since the 600th show, and thought I'd send in some feedback specifically about the mid-air collision between the Cessna 182 and Sabrina in a paraglider close to Salzburg in the Austrian Alps, and try to put a little bit of perspective on the incident. Carlos made a really, really good point that when you're taught to fly, one of the first things that's really drummed into you is keeping your eyes out of the cockpit as much as you can and looking out, searching for, seeing and avoiding anybody else that could spoil your day by either bumping into you or you bumping into them. And it is really, really important. There are a lot of people who fly paragliders down in the Alps, and it seems very, very obvious that a paraglider should be really easy to spot. The canopies are pretty big, they tend to be bright colours, but the problem that you have with the paraglider is it flies very, very slowly, and therefore to any other aeroplane it does appear to be stationary. For anybody who knows anything about the anatomy of the human eye and how it works, will know that the human eye actually is not designed very well. It's a very, very clever instrument, but it can only see things in a relatively narrow field of view. More critically, It also is very poor at picking objects up that are stationary in relation to yourself. And without going into the technicalities of collision angles and anything like that, if something is on a constant angle to you, then and you're flying towards it, then it's going to hit you, or you're going to hit it, whichever way around you want to put that. So flying around and seeing a paraglider from any particular distance out is actually quite difficult. They can blend in with the background. Of course, the mountains, the Alps. There's a lot of mountains, lots of different colours, which the paragliders can blend in into, or just vanish against the blue sky. And of course, they're relatively stationary unless they're manoeuvring. So really difficult to pick up until you get close. And so it is very, very important that you look out and be aware of that risk. I suspect that in this particular case, the Cessna 182 pilot was just not looking in the right place at the right time. You can't be looking 360 degrees around you at all times. You've got to prioritize lookout. And I suspect that he just did not see the paraglider until it started blossoming in his windscreen. And that's the way that something that's going to hit you actually appears. It can be small, and then it really grows in size in the last few seconds before impact. And I suspect by the time he actually saw the paraglider, if he ever did, then it was too late for him to actually take evasive action. So I hope that's put a little bit more perspective on it. I'll sign off for now. Cheerio.
Thank you to Derek Grinner for bringing us that piece of awesome info there.
It's not a side.
If anyone knows, he will know.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a side of it. I thought about, actually, to be honest with you. I know, because we were talking about it, of course.
Well, I did say, didn't I, that when you see something bright and yellow, orange, greeny, yellowy, orange, I think that was white and red. I think that paraglider chute was. Indeed. I suppose when you're looking at it from a massive distance and you've got the sky, mountains, greenery and stuff behind, it does potentially get lost.
Yeah, potentially.
Within that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Derek. Right, so we're going to start to wrap up the show for this week. Big thanks to everyone who's tuned in to the show tonight. Social media links, Nev, where can everyone find out more about us on the socials?
Yeah, if you're on Facebook, X, Instagram or LinkedIn, just search those platforms for Plane Talking UK and you'll find us there. You can email the show, podcast@planetalkinguk.com, and our WhatsApp number is +44 7446 975 214. If you would like to join the PTUK chat room, which is very active at the moment, then please do send us an email to podcast@planetalkinguk.com with your preferred WhatsApp number, and we will add you to the list. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get notifications when we go live, and you can help shape the conversation of the show by joining us in the chat room, as many people have done tonight. And thank you very much indeed for doing so. Just go to youtube.com and search for Plane Talking UK. We do have running costs, of course, with the show, and people very kindly, when they can, donate to us via Patreon and PayPal, and you can find out how to do that by going to our website planetalkinguk.com, and there's a section on the top right which says support us, and you'll find all the details there.
And there we go. That's the best way to find us online. And we will hopefully be back next Wednesday, where I will be in charge running things next week, and hopefully everything will work seamlessly for next Wednesday's show. But don't forget to join us next Wednesday, 7 o'clock here on YouTube, for another installment 604 of the show. So that's it from me, Carlos here in the home studio, from Matt here in the studio with me, from Nev in his studio, from Andy in his studio, and from Nick over there in glorious Devon in his studio. Have a great rest of the week and enjoy your weekend. Say goodbye, Nev.
Yeah, cheers, folks. Have a good time and see you next week.
There we are.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, he says, press that button there. There you are.
Back on.
Another one in the can.
Another one in the can.
Yeah, absolutely.
This camera makes me look like I've got a ridiculous tan.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than actually getting a tan.
Or didn't you go to Malta?
I did, but
And pick one
this camera makes me look like I'm...
He was in all the bars now. He didn't actually go outside.
Definitely not on the Monday.
You beat me to it, Matt. You beat me to it.
Yeah, definitely didn't on the Monday.
Oh, look at him. He's busy checking his lines now. Look, honestly, state of that. Oh, dear. No, not that.
It does, though. It's that expensive team camera that I've got. That one isn't.
Watch out, it might catch fire.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's USB powered. Don't panic.
That doesn't matter if that's where you got it from. It could catch fire.
It's probably got a tracking device in it or something.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Give a sleeper agent now.
Yeah, giving away secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't hear a lot here.
No, quite.
Apart from me talking to Dave or Nigel.
No, true enough. Yeah. Confirm the craziness from the outset.
From there.
Okay, well, I've got a little bit of work to do.
Editing.
To put right my mistakes.
Thank you, chat room. As always.
Indeed.
Yeah, some good stuff in there tonight, wasn't it? Good contribution.
Yeah. Lots of positive feedback about the chat room.
Yeah, the chat room's liked.
Even though Carlos's dad has left.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Did not know that my dad had left the chat room. Honestly, the PTK WhatsApp.
I must admit, I do have it on mute because it is a lot.
There's a lot of people in there and enjoy themselves.
I must admit, it's quite nice to dip into every now and again and just have a little thumb through what everybody's been talking about. I have to say. But there we go. All right then.
Right, chat room. That's it. Have a lovely rest of the week, as we said, and enjoy yourselves this weekend. Looking for some nice warm weather this weekend, especially tomorrow, where it's due to apparently hit 30 degrees Celsius tomorrow here in the UK. Well, in East Anglia anyway. I spent up north where Andy is. It'll be, 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I'm in the south still, remember?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, true.
I'll get me budgie smugglers on tomorrow looking at this weather. Look at that. Get me oil on. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I'm sure your training candidates will be delighted to see that in this thing.
So many images. What a treat. Somebody will enjoy it.
Right. Well, that's it then. We're going to say goodbye to our YouTube family. And thanks again, because I know Dirk was watching. He should be still in the chat room. Thanks again to Dirk's lovely better half.
That is very cool.
I know, that is so good.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Take care, everyone. Say goodbye. Sign off.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, 20.